Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Movement Radio. I am Chip Hazard.
I'm Talon Williams,
I'm Roger Sierra.
And I'm Braden Howard.
and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week one of Are You Ready for Some Football? It's a brand new season. Looking forward to this season. Looking forward to the games that we're going to have this week, especially. It's going to be a pretty cool, interesting season. How are you guys looking forward to the upcoming season?
I'm excited.
I can't wait, man. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think this year is going to be a little bit more competitive than last year.
Yeah, I like to hope so. I really like to hope so. That being said, anything you guys want to say before we get into these picks?
I will say week one, as I was going through, week one is probably the hardest one to predict. I mean, we know the least amount of possible information going into this, so it's literally anything can happen. That's something that you gotta go knowing into this is literally anything can happen. Just have an open mind.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
definitely see that.
Before we get into the picks, do you guys want to go over what the NFL power rankings are for week one before we jump into the picks? I'm not going to go over every single bit of it.
The scores are 0-0. Power ranking doesn't really matter.
Okay, then we just won't worry about that until next week.
Well, with that being said, we'll start off with the Thursday nighter. We got the Detroit Lions taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. News came out today that Travis Kelce has hyperextended his knee and may not play in that game. Not sure that it makes much of a difference, other than wide receiver one for the Chiefs is down. So somebody else has got to step up. Where are you guys going with this?
Chris Jones is also going to be out, also,
He's
correct?
holding out.
Well,
Yep.
he was never slated to play, so
Okay. You know what? Like I know in my heart of hearts, I know that the Lions are the sleeper team. The Lions are the team that's going to end up shocking a lot of people. I don't have the heart to go that far just yet, so I'm going to go with Kansas City to win this game.
I agree. I think Friday morning we all wake up and turn SportsCenter on, and the headline's going to be, "It just does not matter." It doesn't matter if Chris Jones is out. It does not matter if Travis Kelce is out. Mahomes is going to get it done with whoever is out there playing receiver. And if you give Andy Reid and this Chiefs that much time to prepare in a week one game in Arrowhead coming off the Super Bowl, it's just hard to go against the Chiefs. So I will pick the Chiefs as well.
Roger.
I'm still going to go Lions. I said a couple weeks ago, I think they can win the opener, and with Travis Kelce going down, it really does not look good for the receiverless Chiefs.
Yeah, the big question mark there is how well does this offense run without Eric Bieniemy? That's where I'm at. That's what I'll be looking for. But we'll move on from there. We'll go to the first round of Sunday games. And,
Wait, what was your pick?
Oh, I'm going Chiefs.
Okay.
I thought I said that to begin with.
Nah, I didn't hear it. If you said it, I didn't hear it. I apologize.
Say what you
Alright.
said.
Yeah, Chad is also going Chiefs. So Roger's the outlier on that one. So moving on to Sunday, we got Panthers versus Falcons. I'm going Panthers in this game.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Panthers. Bijan's going to have a good game, but it's still the Falcons.
I'll go Falcons at home in this one. I don't typically like rookie quarterbacks week one, and this is also a new coach stepping in. So I think Bryce Young will probably do decent midway through the year, but it's just not fun to typically bet on rookie quarterbacks week one. So I will go with the couple of weeks of experience with Desmond Ritter and a Falcons team at home.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Falcons as well, not just because of the quarterback, situation there, but I feel like with the addition of Calais Campbell, with the addition of Jesse Bates, I feel like their defense is better overall than Carolina, so I'm going to go with the Falcons to win that one.
All right. Chad is also going Falcons. So next up we have the Houston Texans against the Baltimore Ravens. Think it's going to be a pretty good game, but the Ravens I've got winning this one.
I also have the Ravens winning this game as well. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
So I will also go Ravens for sure with this matchup. It's a tough pull for the Texans, I want to say, because A, you don't want to play the Ravens week one. They are typically a team that always starts hot, always starts fast.
Yeah.
And B, they always feast on rookie quarterbacks 9 times out of 10. And Stroud is probably going to have a rough go at it in this game. So I would definitely go Ravens.
What about you, Roger?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens as well. This is their year. They have to prove something strong. Lamar has to prove it um, every week, so he can't have anything less than like near perfect game, even against a team that people would consider minor team or easy to beat. If he slips up even a little bit during this team, people are going to start doubting him. So I think he has to focus on that, and I think he'll just win pretty much overall.
Don't be surprised if the offense starts a little bit slow. I mean, it's going to be a big change for them. So I expect maybe a slower first half, but they'll probably explode second half.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
about two drives in, Odell's ACL is going to tear, so they'll have to stop the game anyways.
Chad is also going Ravens on this one. Uh, Next up is a matchup that I'm pretty interested in seeing. It's Bengals Browns, and I'm interested in this to see if the last part of last season for Deshaun Watson, if that was what his new form is going to be, or if he reverts back to the way he played in Houston. But with that being said, I think the Bengals still win this game. Talon, what about you?
I have the Bengals winning this game. You know, even if Deshaun Watson does have a pretty good game, and he's got Amari Cooper, he's got Donovan Peoples Jones, he's got Nick Chubb running the ball for him. You know, so yeah, so they're pretty okay, decently, especially at the running back position. Nick Chubb, I think, right now, you know, 1A, 1B, 1C among best running backs in the league right now. But I feel like their defense, other than Miles Garrett and Denzel Ward, they really don't. They have holes in their defense, especially in the free safety spot. For me, the Bengals with that high-powered offense, especially with Joe Burrow throwing, which Joe Burrow is going through a calf injury. He is somewhat probable, questionable. They're still trying to figure out how that's going to work out. Um, Overall, though, their defense is a little bit better than Cleveland's is, even with Miles Garrett. So I'm going to go Bengals also.
So
Braden?
for this one, don't be surprised if Cleveland comes out and makes it really close. They could even pull off the upset for sure. Just because the Bengals usually they're a team that always starts off really, really slow. If you guys remember last year, the Steelers game week one, it takes Cincy a little bit to get going. Like last year, it was a couple of losses early on. They did not start off hot. But I revert back to the last time we just saw Deshaun Watson last year, and typically this year I don't have much faith in him. So it just goes back to rosters lining them up together, and I love Cincy much more in this matchup. Uh, I wouldn't doubt it that Cincy maybe splits this series with them, but week one I go Bengals.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Bengals. I don't think this Browns team is going to do much at all. They don't really have great weapons. Deshaun Watson's not. I mean, we saw what happened. Maybe he did practice more in the offseason before training camp, but who knows? I just don't have any faith in this Browns team doing anything much this season either. So I'm going to have to go
No.
with the Bengals.
And Chad is also going Bengals on this. So we
All right.
move on to an AFC South matchup with the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Indianapolis Colts. Um, Colts have rookie quarterback, new coach, right? They got a new coach this year.
Yes.
No running back because Jonathan Taylor is, I don't think he's going to play for them. I mean, he hasn't been traded yet, but he is seeking trades and is refusing anything that the Colts are offering because they're not offering anything. So I'm going Jaguars on this one.
Yeah. I am also going Jaguars on this one. Calvin Ridley going to be back in the lineup. You know, Christian Kirk's still also there. Trevor Lawrence has come into his own as the leader of this team. Their defense is still good. The one thing I'll give the Colts is, I mean, yeah, it is good that they are starting the rookie quarterback, and they do got good receivers in Michael Pittman Jr. And their defense is somewhat stout, but at the end, I think Jacksonville, this is the year that they take that next step, I think. And I think that Jacksonville wins this game pretty. I don't want to go thoroughly, but I think it's going to be a good game, and I think Jacksonville will pull off the victory.
So I will also go Jacksonville. The The tough thing for this one is it's a little bit of an X factor with Anthony Richardson because teams don't have film on him, and with a mobile quarterback like that, we don't know what could happen. He could come out and rush for 100 yards, 200 yards passing, and somehow win the game. But I don't necessarily like betting on the Colts without Jonathan Taylor. I don't like the weapons they have on offense, and the roster compared to the Jags is just not up to par with Jacksonville whatsoever. And you look at the coaching, I love what Doug Peterson is doing, and the Jags have a lot of upgrades on offense, a lot of upgrades all around. And typically with rookie running quarterbacks, you want to have that stability with a running back. If JT was in this game, it'd be a lot different, but Deion Jackson and whoever else is back there, don't trust it at all. Got to go Jacksonville.
So I don't know. I'm torn. I feel like Anthony Richardson is going to be a better Cam Newton, especially starting out. He's going to be better at passing, but he's still going to be a power runner. I think that's why the Colts don't really care if Jonathan Taylor comes back because they're just going to put it all on him. But we saw what Doug Peterson did with this team last season, especially in the second half, and how they turned it around. And this is like Trevor Lawrence's proven year overall because shouldn't it be his contract? No, it was the year before his contract year, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I think he's going to try to overdo this season. So when it comes to next season, he just can sign the contract in the preseason before anything even happens. Not only that, Christian Kirk, I like him, underrated receiver overall, and that Jaguars running back committee is super strong. And
Yeah.
I just think they're going to be a better overall offense. The Colts defense is so sporadic because 2 seasons ago they were really, really strong. Last season they were mediocre. Who knows what they're going to be this season? But I wouldn't be surprised if Richardson forces this game to be closer than it should be, but I'm still going to go Jaguars.
So moving on from Jaguars Colts, we're gonna pick up Roger's second favorite team in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Wait, who did Chad pick?
No, Chad picked Bengals or Jaguars.
The Jaguars. I was going to say
Okay.
the Cats.
He picked the Cats.
Yeah.
One of the Cats. Yep.
But
Um,
I don't want
so-
to. Bucks Vikings. All right.
Yeah, Bucks Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to pull this off, but I do think the Bucks are going to make this a much closer game, and people are going to remember who Baker Mayfield is. I think this is the team where people are going to be like, oh, that's the guy that was the number one pick for Cleveland. He, bounced around a little bit, went to some teams where there was nobody there for him to utilize weapon-wise. And now he's down in Tampa Bay, and he's got 2 of the best receivers in the league, in my opinion. He's got a decent running back. Their O-line is not bad. So I think we'll see a different Baker Mayfield. With all that said, I'm going with Vikings.
I'm also going Vikings, but I got it close. Like within a field goal close, like within less than 3 points close. I think the Bucks are going to keep it that close in this game. And I think that it's going to open a lot of people's eyes to how good Baker Mayfield can be, especially because he's got probably the best team around him that he's had in years. The question is, the Vikings have been known to let games go away. The Vikings have been known to choke in some respects. Not to say that I don't think Kirk Cousins is a serviceable quarterback. I do. Not to say that Justin Jefferson's bad. I think Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the game. But that being said, it's going to be close, but I still got the Vikings winning overall.
I
Braden?
also have the Vikings in this one. It will be close, but I think it comes down to the Vikings experience in this one. They are really good in one-score games. There will be regression for the Vikings this year, but I see it coming on later on down the road. I like them at home for sure. I think this game comes down to we see the coming out party for Alexander Madison and Jordan Addison. I think these are 2 key additions that are going to be huge for them this year. I think Jordan Addison is big time in the passing game. I think Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson both have a field day with the the Bucks pass defense. So I will definitely go Vikings, but it's going to be a big time reminder, like you said, that this Bucks team is not a pushover.
So I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm going to have to go with the Bucks on this one for the simple fact that this is a season for Baker Mayfield, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans to prove themselves. They all did not do good at all last season. Mike Evans turned into Nelson Aguilar for a couple games last season. Had no idea what's going on there. Chris Godwin is always cursed by injury or just being overshadowed in general or pretty much covered too well. And Baker Mayfield was passed around to a couple of teams, like you said. I think, like I said, this year is a proven year for Baker Mayfield. Mike Evans did he get 1,000 yards last season, or was it his first season without 1,000 yards?
Oh, he hasn't missed it yet.
Okay, but it was pretty close for him not to have it because he was dropping a lot of passes.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like
but-
what, 4 in a game or something like that?
he was doing bad. He, like I said, that's an Aguilar
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
But overall, I think they're going to have the upset here because most people, like I said earlier in our group chat, most people think that the Vikings are not going to have an effect, but their tempos change because they don't have Dalvin Cook, who makes a lot of important plays during critical moments.
Yeah.
Master is not the same, but he's not bad either. He's always been a good handcuff for Dalvin Cook, but I think they're going to focus so much more heavier on passing to the yard rushing that they're not going to be able to kill time. And I think that's what the Bucks are going to do is they're going to run down the clock more to keep themselves ahead in the game.
Chad is going to go Vikings on this one, so I'll be interested to see our group chat on Monday after these games have happened.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, we got Titans versus Saints. Now, this will be Titans' first game with DeAndre Hopkins. Does he return to form, or does he continue to falter like he did in Carolina? Does Ryan Tannehill step it back up, or do they pass the ball?
You mean Arizona?
Yeah, what did I say?
Carolina, I think.
Cardinals, Carolina, whatever.
Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah.
Your favorite C teams.
Yeah. FTC, right, Chip?
Yep, FTC. Does Ryan Tannehill step up and become the quarterback that they picked up, or does he continue to falter, and do they replace him permanently with Malik Willis? It's going to be interesting to see. Does Derrick Henry return to form? Because last season wasn't a great season for him. It was good, but not what we would expect out of Derrick Henry. For the Saints, is Derek Carr that guy? He has weapons now. He has, an opportunity to start fresh. I think the Saints pull this off, but I think it's close.
I'll go ahead and jump in. So I'm going to agree with Chip on this one. I do think it'll be a close game, but the Saints will do it. Derek Carr's got a new team with some really good weapons and a better offensive line than he's had in a while. At this point, they're just going to go. They're really focusing on their passing overall as the Saints. And their defense is always a solid defense, no matter what season it is. And I think they're going to bring problems to the Titans for the simple fact that they're going to pressure Tannehill during those play actions. I think Derrick Henry obviously is going to get his yardage. We can't really stop that man, no matter what. But I think there's going to be a certain point where he's not in the game, and that's when the Saints are going to take advantage, and they're going to start hitting Ryan Tannehill a lot more than the way he's going to be ready for opening this game for the season. So I'm on Saints.
All right. Talon?
I am also going to go with the Saints. Like many points that you guys have brought up, I agree. Even if Ryan Tannehill is getting, the hell beat out of him blitz-wise, and you bring in Malik Willis isn't really that much of an upgrade judging by what he did last year or what he didn't do last year. You know what I mean? Hell, they might even throw in the third stringer in there, depending on how bad the situation gets. Derek Carr now being the new quarterback in New Orleans, and he has motivation behind him now. Like, he has a reason to go out there like, okay, I'm going to prove every single part. Plus, he's thrown to Chris Olave, and Chris Olave, I think, is very underrated as a receiver. I don't think too many people are giving him the love that he should have. But that being said, I'm gonna go with the Saints to pull the win off of this.
So on this one, I will go against the grain a little bit. I think both of these defenses are very, very tough to score on. And with this week one matchup, it's going to be very low scoring. We're going to see this game probably come down to a field goal. I think the
see that.
Titans are probably going to come out with a definite edge in this one. You know, they're coming in as very, very overlooked. Everyone's seeing them as, oh man, they're dead in the water, whatever. But this is a stout defense. We've got Tannehill coming back, Derrick Henry coming back, and I like the addition of D-Hop. I don't think he's going to be the D-Hop that we love from Houston, but it's going to be a serviceable receiver for Ryan Tannehill that we haven't seen since A.J. Brown. He's not to A.J. Brown's level, obviously, but still he's a serviceable receiver that whenever it's play action, he can hit them deep. You can rely on D-Hop to go make a play. So the other factor in this is typically with the quarterbacks coming into a new location, such as Derek Carr, usually it takes them the first week, it's a little bit of adjustment period. So I do take that into account as well. So going to take the experience with the Titans here, like them a little bit more in this matchup, going to go with the underdog.
Okay.
I got that. Chad is also going to go with the Saints here. So, Braden, you're the only one going against the grain. Real quick question. Talon, you mentioned Chris Olave. Isn't this only his second season? Last year was his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how can he be underrated if he's only played one season? Just a question.
Well,
Because
sometimes people overlook him in terms of you look at Garrett Wilson, and I think sometimes Olave gets a little bit overlooked just because of the location they're at as well.
Braden answered for me, so thank you. No, but that's exactly what I was fixing to say. I'm not gonna. When I say underrated, I'm not necessarily talking about in terms of value. I'm talking about in terms of being overlooked. Because when you think of, especially in the NFC, when you think of AJ Brown, you think of all these other great receivers that's in there, but a lot of people, I feel like they overlook how good Chris Olave is. That's all I was saying.
Okay.
I think he's good.
I was just wondering because he's only had one season. AJ Brown has been around for a while. A lot of those receivers have been around for a while. So obviously the rookies are going to get overlooked unless they have flashy plays.
That is true.
Just my opinion.
Right, because you see, what Watson did, and what Pickens up in Pittsburgh did. Yeah, there was a whole lot of rookie wide receivers who did play excellent, but Chris Olave kind of flew under the radar. He's just as good as those guys. He just didn't get a whole lot of love, and that's all I was saying.
I get you. All right. So moving on from that, we're going to bump over to the 49ers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Has Brock Purdy been named starting quarterback for the 49ers?
Yeah, he's good to go.
Okay, so with Brock Purdy being named the starter, I think that looks much better for the 49ers. The Steelers still have a serviceable defense. You got, TJ Watt possibly be, in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. You got
Mika Fitzpatrick.
The other guy, I lose his name right now. The other rusher that they have.
Cameron Hayward.
Kim Hayward. So that defense is still good, but is that defense better than the 49ers offensive line? That's what we need to see here. With that being said, I think the 49ers are going to win this. I'm still not sold on Kenny Pickett as the quarterback there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett either. I damn sure ain't sold on Mitchell Trubisky. And also, I think the 49ers just have a way better defense. They have way more weapons. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, CMC and Eli Mitchell, taking turns running the football. And Brock Purdy did come into his own. He became Mr. Relevant instead of Mr. Irrelevant. The only thing I will say is that Mike Tomlin will coach his team up and they will play their ass off. and that defense will step up. But offensively speaking, I don't necessarily trust Pittsburgh. That being said, I am going to go with the 49ers to win this game.
So week one, there is always one weird, wild, wacky upset. And I remember watching the Bengals and the Steelers last year, week one, and they just came out and played their ass off, completely just gave the Bengals a run for their money. And I remember San Francisco kind of came out flat against Chicago week one last year. It was in a monsoon, but still. This really seems like a Mike Tomlin at home spot. I don't necessarily like Brock Purdy coming off the injury week one. And something else that is popping up that you guys might not have seen is George Kittle's dealing with a groin injury right now.
Yeah.
So if he even plays, that's a big part of the offense. He's not getting a ton of catches or targets, but still he's a great blocking tight end that opens up a ton of holes for CMC. So I know it's going to be a rowdy crowd in Pittsburgh, and it's somewhere I would not want my team playing week one. So week one, man, that's going to be my upset of the week. I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think, but I like Mike Tomlin and his guys. So, but it's like what you said. The biggest thing is the Steelers offense. That's where it's going to get tricky. So I'll take them. I like Pittsburgh this week.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go 49ers still. I knew about George Kittle's injury, but it still doesn't affect my decision for the fact that Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey are on the same side. And now Deebo actually gets to be a full-time receiver. CMC is just so hard to guard. So really, how do you stop the speed on the 49ers offensive side? How do you contain Christian McCaffrey? And can the Steelers defensive line outdo the 49ers offensive line is really the big question. We know that the 49ers defensive line is going to be stronger than the Steelers offensive line. So that's not an issue. I do get where you're coming from, Braden. I do like seeing upsets and stuff like that week one, but I don't think it's going to be this game. I think it's going to be 49ers winning.
Chad is also going 49ers. So, Braden, you were the only one that went Steelers there.
Hell yeah, 2 in a row.
Excuse me.
Next, we got the Arizona the Cardinals against Washington football team. I refuse to call them anything other than Washington football team.
This is a game of who gives a shit versus who gives a fuck. Basically, that's what this game is. They're two of the worst franchises, football speaking wise.
Yeah. Kyler Murray's injured. They released Colt McCoy, and they're going with Jason Dobbs. Is that his name?
Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Josh, Jason, whatever. Who's their? They don't have a running back there.
James Conner, yeah.
Oh, James Conner.
Yeah,
I forgot he played for them.
So
I forgot he was in the league, to be honest with you.
No, I thought he played for somebody else. That's my bad. But I think Washington's defense is much better than Arizona's offense currently. I think Chase Young is underrated as a defensive player there in Washington. And I think he's going to have some decent plays during this game. With that, I'm going with Washington to win.
I'm also going Washington to win. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Arizona's crapping for Caleb at this point. So
no, they're tanking for Tua.
Tua's already in the league.
Yeah, same. You want to trade for him?
Same thing. They're not trading Tua. They're not trading Tua.
One more concussion.
If he doesn't produce this season, he's gone from Miami.
I mean, he's got injury history. I understand. We'll get to that when we get to it.
All right.
But I'm also going with the Commanders to win this game.
No, it's Washington. We do not call them the Crappers.
I didn't call them the Crappers. I call them the Command. Can I just call them WTF? Can I say that?
Washington football team. Yes.
No, that's
WFT.
that's it's WTF, because every time you watch them, you're like, what the fuck? Oh, that ain't gonna laugh. Fuck y'all.
All right, so Braden, go ahead.
All right, so this week, this season, they will be the Commandos for me. I love the Commandos. So for the Commandos, this week, going up against the Cardinals, I will obviously pick Washington for this one. Like you guys said, pretty self-explanatory. This one, if you guys didn't see, is actually sold out. So I think
Wow.
the Washington fan base is definitely on board with Dan Snyder being out, and they want to come out and they want to support their squad.
They want
And
to celebrate.
yeah, hell yeah, this is going to be a big spot for them, and I think this is going to be the Eric Bieniemy and Sam Howell coming out party. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and light it up. Really, I think the big key factor of this one is, well, I mean, shit, it doesn't really even matter, but Terry McLaurin might sit. He got hurt in the Ravens preseason game, but I see Jahan Dotson, Brian Robinson, and Antonio Gibson definitely stepping up for the offense. I like what Eric Bieniemy is going to have in store for that squad. Definitely see them coming out and scoring points, and I think the defense is going to blitz the hell out of whoever the Cardinals start quarterback, Toom or Josh Dobbs. The Cardinals just it's a bad roster. Just fade them all away. Washington in this one, no doubt.
I'm gonna go with the Brigade on this one. I mean, really doesn't matter. Cardinals are not going to do anything. Even when they try, they still fail. So overall, this is more like the Cardinals throwing away a game more than the Brigade winning a game.
All right, fellas. Sam Howell over under 2 passing touchdowns.
4 interceptions.
Oh, get that.
You know what? I'll take the over on 2 passing touchdowns for Sam
I'm
Howell.
right there with you.
I'll take the over on that.
I call push.
No,
I think
cool
I'll
with
get
that.
right at. I think I'll get right at 2.
It
Right at
definitely
2.
could
And
come
both of them will.
in
Both of them will probably. No, I take that back. One will probably be the Terry McLaurin. The other probably be the Curtis Samuel. Probably.
Perry won't be in it. I bet he won't play this game.
I mean,
Jahan Dotson anytime touchdown.
there you go.
Antonio Gibson.
It could become a really big run game for sure if they get Brian Robinson and Gibson going. For sure, second half.
I could see Gibson catch a swing pass from Howell and then just walking it in. I could see that happening.
Well, this will be BNME's first time really getting to play with an offense with multiple good, consistent running backs. So we'll see what he does.
We'll move on to that from there to Chad's favorite team,
Well, who did
And
Chad pick for
the
Washington,
Cowboys?
Arizona?
Washington.
Washington. Okay.
Washington.
The
Yeah.
Cowboys.
No, the Green Bay Packers.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Yes,
I forgot. You got
That
that Jordan Love
bullshit.
jersey on.
That bullshit.
he's got his Jordan Love jersey on right
Sleeves
now.
in his
You
Jordan
just can't
Love
see him.
onesie.
So it's the Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears.
Mm.
I am still not sold on Justin Fields in Chicago. I think he's a decent quarterback. I can't even say good right now. But he has no offensive line. Every game that kid is running for his life.
Yep.
And I don't think they did anything much, if anything, to bolster that
They've got
offensive
free
line.
agents.
Don't sleep on Darnell Wright. Watch your mouth.
Okay, so again, I'll say I don't think they did much, if anything, to bolster that offensive line. With that being said, I still think that the Bears are going to be better than the Packers this game, and I'm going Bears here.
I'm gonna have to go with the Packers because they have a better offensive line. Because that's about it for both these teams. I don't think the Bears are going to be able to get anything going overall. Packers still at least have 2 good running backs and a good receiver, so that's about it. Really, this is a team. This is also another who cares and what the fuck is going to happen game.
I'm also
right.
gonna go. I'm also gonna go with the Packers as well, simply because they have depth at the running back position, and Chicago's is kind of non-existent. Now, granted, I do think they have
a running back under center. What are you talking about?
Well, that's true, but I'm talking about
just like Baltimore.
But again,
Exactly.
where's the depth? Where's the depth? That's what I'm asking you. The Green Bay has far more, and hell, maybe Jordan Love can run a little bit too. We don't know. Hell, he's only played one game. But I don't know. I just think Green Bay and they do got a little bit better secondary help, with Jaheir Alexander, but that's really not much to speak of. Again, this is one of those games. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? But I got to go Green Bay just because it was just a team to pick. And honestly, Justin Fields can't do everything by himself, even though he tries to do everything by himself. So I am going to go with Green Bay to win this one.
Okay. Brady?
God, I love being on this show so I can be the lone wolf on all these picks. It's so fun. But
you're going for a tie, aren't you?
This is not my tie game. I have a tie game though.
Okay.
I definitely want to go Chicago in this one just because I think Jordan Love going into Chicago, I think that's going to be a big factor is Chicago's going to be at home. With this one, I think Fields with his legs is a big X factor. I love Green Bay's defense, but early on, I think they're going to struggle to contain Fields on the ground and his mobility. And I think we definitely see the flashes of Fields' new weapon with DJ Moore. And I actually do like the running backs in Chicago with Roshan Johnson and Khalil Herbert. I think they have a lot to offer. They're not to the talent tier of Dillon and Jones, but they're definitely serviceable for sure. I do think that we will see for sure the offensive line if it can hold up. They didn't make many key additions, but I think it'll be just enough to get them over the hump. And I am looking forward to this matchup for sure. We're going to see a lot of answers about Justin Fields and Jordan Love in this one. So going to go with the home team here. I like Chicago at home.
Okay.
Sir, you obviously weren't paying attention because I also picked Chicago in
Oh,
this
Yeah,
one.
man.
he did.
Man,
Yeah, he
I
did.
thought you said
I was gonna say
the Packers.
no,
No.
Chad's team. Remember
That-
his
Okay,
team.
my bad.
Yeah.
I thought you said Packers. I misheard you.
And of course, Chad picked
the Packers.
Jordan Love all day. He has it
Okay,
tatted right
okay,
above
that's where
his
I got it
navel.
mixed.
Right above his navel. Jordan Love.
Yeah.
But real quick, Chip, when you were talking about Justin Fields saying he is
Yes.
a decent quarterback and not a good quarterback, I do think he's a good quarterback because he was able to get wins with Chicago with no offensive line.
And
Go ahead, Jordan.
I get where you're coming from. I just think he's got just there's like a paper's edge worth of passing ability that he needs to show me that he hasn't yet. He can run, and you're right. He did win games with Chicago with no offensive line. I'm just not sold on his arm strength. Now, apparently, that doesn't matter a whole lot. Lamar Jackson is a starting quarterback. And I'm still not sold on his passing ability 100%.
Neither is 85% of the fans, actually.
But no, I think if he was at a better serviceable team, I think he would be able to pass more and also show that what he could do with his movement, his legs. Like if he went to the fucking Rams, I think he'd actually be a really good player overall. I'm not saying he's going to win the division or anything like that, but he'd definitely be one less injured and two not have to run as much.
Yeah,
Right.
I think a lot of it falls down to the lack of offensive line in Chicago.
Yep.
And that's why he hasn't been able to show his passing ability, because when he was at Ohio State, he was really good in the passing game. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that being said, we're going to move on to the Las Vegas Raiders versus Rodgers' team, the Denver Broncos. I think this is a kind of prove it year for the Broncos. They've got new head coach in Sean Payton. Does he really want to be there, or is he just there for the money? Does he want to prove that he is still a top tier coach or not? I'm still on the fence about that. Is Las Vegas, how are they going to do with Jimmy Garoppolo? Is Garoppolo this is his kind of prove it opportunity as well, because new team, new coach. He played a little bit in New England.
Stars.
He is in Vegas now. I mean,
he sat under the Tom Brady and Larry tree in New England. Then he went to
the Robert Kraft tree too.
he might be under the Johnny Sins tree in Vegas now. Shit.
and then he went to
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, you said that. But then he went to the 49ers, and he was okay. But there was a lot of injuries that hampered him, and why he got overlooked, maybe not overlooked, but why he got passed up for Trey Lance, who then got injured, and then Brock Purdy, over his time there. So I think both of these teams have something to prove. I just think Denver has more to prove, which is why I have Denver winning this game.
I also have Denver winning this game. I feel like the addition of Sean Payton is going to motivate the team to play better. I do think the addition of Frank Clark on the defensive line is going to help the defense and motivate the defense better. At the same time, and on the flip side, I can't disregard the defensive contributions that Max Crosby and Chandler Jones are going to have for the Raiders. Also, yeah, you could say Jimmy G, and he does have a great weapon in Devontae Adams. And, Josh Jacobs did get somewhat of a payday. So he got the Saquon deal almost. And he's going to, he's going to be there to play. The Broncos, I think that the Broncos with Sean Payton are more motivated. And yeah, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, can Russell Wilson return to who he once was in Seattle? Because I think we can all say that last year he definitely regressed as a quarterback. This year, can he have a bounce back year? I think he can. I don't think he'll be, back to the level that he was in Seattle, but I think he'll be a whole lot better than what he was under Nathaniel Hackett. So I'm also going to go with the Broncos to win this as well.
So for
All
this
right.
one, I will actually go with the road team. Gonna go with Vegas here. I don't necessarily like the pairing of Russ and Sean Payton. I don't think their styles really mend well together. And before I pick them and trust them, I think they're going to need to prove it to me first. And another thing on this one, you got to look at Denver's wide receiver room. I don't like that they're losing for week one, Jerry Jeudy and Tim Patrick. So you've got Denzel Mims and Cortland Sutton out there. I think that's going to be a big blow to the offense, and the defense is probably going to have to carry them a lot in this game. But when you line the two rosters up side by side, I definitely like what the Raiders are coming out with. I don't love the Raiders coaching, but I do love their skill position players with what you were saying with Chandler Jones and Max Crosby, and then the offense actually has a lot of pieces too. I love Josh Jacobs, love Devontae Adams, and I love the addition of Michael Mayer, the new tight end they got in the draft. So I like the.
Is
I like
Josh Jacobs playing?
Yes, he's good
Yeah,
to
he's
go.
playing. Yeah.
So
And
I like
also
over there. So
yeah.
I will.
And also Jacoby Myers is also with the team now too. So there's
Serviceable
another
too.
X factor.
Oh, yay.
You've got Hunter Renfrow there too, another underrated wide receiver. So I'll go Raiders.
Is he underrated though? He ain't showing up for the last couple of years.
That's because
He had one really good season a couple years ago, and then
But even then, the good season he had was overshadowed by Mac Hollins.
which
bro,
also
as a wide
will also
receiver,
disappear.
he's solid.
I was going to say, Roger, do you want to know Chad's pick before you pick? Or
He's probably going to go with the Raiders.
that is correct.
Yeah, I hope.
All right,
I
where are
hope.
you going?
I hope Jalen Hurts blows both his ACLs out this season.
Damn. The
Actually, no,
vitriol.
I don't know. I actually like Jalen Hurts. I can't say
Yeah, I
that.
know, right?
I can't say that.
Say, what did he do to you? Damn.
I hope
Or
Chad blows
watch
both his
have a
ACLs.
wide receiver quarterback again.
But I'm gonna go with the Broncos for the simple fact that we do have a better coach. That's really the main issue we really have. I mean, besides trading away two really good defensive players and not being able to make decisions, but I still feel like we're better overall than the Raiders are right now. Because I mean, I don't like the coaching staff in Las Vegas. Josh Jacobs is really the only thing for them offensively. They have a good defense, but that's about it. And I feel like Russell Wilson is trying to prove this season that he is worth the money that he's getting paid. What?
You missed the face that Braden made when you said Josh Jacobs was the only weapon they had.
You heard what I said. The only weapon they have.
You looked at your other screen right as he made his face. Oh man.
Don't worry. You'll see it when we play this back.
I mean,
Sorry.
I'm just being honest. It's all it is. It's telling the truth, no matter how much it hurts.
All right.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Broncos.
So we already got that. Moving on to the next game, we got the Miami Dolphins, Talon's favorite team, versus
Jets. Oh,
that's his second favorite. Well, I'm not sure if they've taken over first favorite or not yet, but they're it's like 1A, 1B. So we got the Dolphins versus the Chargers. This one was a little difficult for me to pick. If Tua can stay healthy, that team is going to be good, but we know his track record, and he's got, most people have a glass jaw. He's got a glass brain. They have tons of weapons there in Miami, but the Chargers, they have weapons too, and I personally like the Chargers defense more than I like the Dolphins defense. With that being said, I'm going Chargers to win this one.
so for me, this is my tie of the week.
You want me to put tie?
Yeah, I generally think this is my tie of the week. I told you I had one tie this week, and I believe it's this game. It was just really hard for me to overall to think about who would really win. But then I also thought of the possibility of them just ending in a tie, seeming more likely than one team just getting away with than the other team. I mean, it is in it's in California. I'm not gonna say LA because it's not in LA, but it's
Right.
at SoFi Stadium. I think the Dolphins, it's a proven year for majority of them. Waddle and Tyreek Hill and Tua and Mostert all have something to prove this season. Jalen Ramsey's supposed to be there. I don't know if it's actually played or not. He blew his vagina out, so who knows? But overall, I still think it's a proven for a lot of the Dolphins, like a proven season for a lot of the Dolphins player. But same thing with Justin Herbert. I think he's trying to get to that next level, that upper tier, break in overall, separate himself from them, most of the quarterbacks. And he's got a lot of new, clean, shiny weapons for him to use overall. And I mean, you can't really count out Eckler either.
All right.
So tie.
Braden, where are you going on this one?
So I really like I like the Chargers in this one, but it's a definite toss up. Like pick whatever you want. I mean, it really comes down to a pick 'em in this one. There's no real edge, I think, because with this one being at the Chargers, there's no home field advantage in my opinion. So I like the fact that the Chargers offense, well, the Chargers team in general is all healthy going into this one. You've got a healthy Mac and a healthy Bosa on defense, which I love a lot going after Tua. I think they're going to give him a lot of problems, unfortunately, with
Concussions.
hopefully not with a couple of injuries to the offensive line on the Dolphins already. It may prove to be a couple of problems early on in the season. So I love the addition of Kellen Moore, like we've talked previously. And I think this is a situation where Herbert shows off his shiny new toys with Quentin Johnston and a healthy receiving core for the first time in a long time. You're not throwing to Josh Palmer and company. I do think Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle take advantage of this Chargers secondary whenever Bosa and Mack don't get home. So this will probably be pretty high scoring, but Chargers probably pull away with it in the end, in my prediction.
Okay. Chad is also going Chargers on this one.
You know what? I had a feeling. I had a feeling this was going to happen. There's a part of me that says, okay, make your pick with your head. Don't make your pick with your heart. Okay, so let me break it down. Okay, who has the better quarterback? The Chargers. Who has better wide receivers? The Dolphins. Who has the best running backs totally? I think Austin Eckler is the best running back out of all the running backs who could be playing in this game, but Miami has depth. If we go over to the other side, I think our defensive line is better, but I think that the Chargers linebacking core is better. If you come down to the secondary, we got two good corners. We still Mac. Holland is still struggling with his issues at free safety position, but at the same time, they got Derwin James. They got, what was that, Braden?
We were letting you finish.
Yeah, we're letting you finish.
Okay. I just seen this. I didn't.
Oh no, I was just saying Xavier Howard.
Okay. Okay. Appreciate it. Wakanda. But Now, if I'm being truthful though, like it really came down to a flip of a coin for me, and I wanted so bad to pick Miami to win this game, but I can't do it. Like I cannot in my heart. I can't go with my heart. I have to go with in my head. And like what Braden said, it's a complete toss up. But I think that the fact that they are playing in LA, quote unquote, I think the home field advantage is going to be a factor. And I think that unfortunately the Chargers are going to win this game. I fucking hate saying it, but I got the Chargers winning.
So, who is the Miami running back depth you're talking about?
They got
Go ahead, because I have a question for you as well.
I mean, they got Raheem Monster, right? Let me go back and look at the thing. I don't have it up in front of me right now. I just know they got depth at the running back spot.
On H.'s gonna get hit once and collapse.
Well, you know,
while you're looking at that, I want to know how your defensive line is better than
the Chargers.
The Chargers,
yeah, that one threw me off too.
Well, that low key is a toss up though. I mean, Bradley Chubb, Christian Wilkins, and then I couldn't tell you who's on the Chargers interior, but I mean, Chargers will probably take it with the edge.
We also have Raekwon Davis. We also have Emmanuel Agba. Like, I mean, we have good, you know.
Are those your running backs or your linemen?
No, on the D line. Who's our D line?
I'm not saying. I'm not saying that your defensive line is garbage. I just personally don't think it's better than the Chargers' defensive line.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you guys have a better interior defensive line, but they have a better outer or the edge. And
really
you know that matters a lot in NFL because the outer guy is so much harder to guard nowadays.
Because the outer guy's a hybrid.
Yeah,
he's the edge guy. You know,
he can line up. You got Baby Bosa on one side. Yeah, you got Baby Bosa on one side and Khalil Mack on the other side.
The only thing is Khalil is a little bit older, so you know he might.
Yeah, but he's 100% healthy.
Yeah,
that's true. But hey,
all it takes is one good chop block and he's out again. So
but like I said, and again,
but who are your running backs? Who are your running backs?
Oh yeah. So I got. Damn it, made me go back. All right, so we got Raheem Mostert, Alec Ingold, Christopher Brooks, Salvin Ahmed, and Devon Aiken.
Jeff Wilson's on IR.
Jeff Wilson's on IR, so you know can't really do much with that situation. But you go over and you look at the
Isaiah Spiller, Josh McKelly, Austin Eckler.
Yeah, I still think
I like that squad a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, I think Austin Eckler is the best of all the running backs that's going to be playing. But in terms of, you know, depth, I still would lean toward Miami, but that's my opinion.
Just because they have six running backs.
That's probably me speaking from the heart, I guess. You know, that's
no. I get it.
They have 6 running backs and the Chargers have 4, so I guess more depth.
But right. So moving on, we got the Eagles versus the Patriots. I'm not going to say a whole lot about this. I'm just going to say the Eagles are winning.
Yeah, Eagles.
So this one's actually going to be a little bit closer than I think. The Eagles are going to win, obviously, but still, it's not going to be a complete blowout. I mean,
maybe
you got in New England, Week 1, Belichick's probably going to dial something up to slow down Jalen Hurts just a tad bit, and there is. I mean, Super Bowl hangover just a little bit, but this Eagle roster is top to bottom a lot better. But it's not going to be a complete blowout. And I expect a little bit lower scoring. I don't think the Patriots will win, but it's definitely going to be a little bit closer. I'll go Eagles, though.
I'm about to say, if Richard Seymour, Willie McGinnis, Teddy Bruschi, Ty Law, Rodney
Vince
Harrison,
Wilfork.
all those guys, Vince Wilfork, if all those guys are playing this Sunday, yeah, it's going to be awesome. But
I mean, they're not going to win, but just it's not going to be.
I think it might be a blowout. I think it might be a blowout. Unfortunately,
how many times does Mac Jones get sacked?
Oh God,
5.
5.
I mean, because the Eagles kept 90% of their Super Bowl contender team, and then they added fucking great pieces to replace the ones that left.
Yeah.
I mean,
they got some Georgia Bulldog players. Yeah,
for some reason the Lions traded away or gave Swift to them just to help out their back I mean, what the hell? Doesn't make any sense at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right. I'm assuming
All right.
Chad. We already know Chad's answer, so
Yeah.
never mind.
Chad is going Eagles all the way.
All
I
the way.
guarantee.
17-0.
So
Oh wait, did
we
they play
will.
the Packers this year? Because he might pick Jordan Love over Jalen Hurts.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Oof.
That is a situation I don't want to think about right now. Okay. My brain does not have the mental capacity to figure that shit out. But anyway, let's move on to the next game. We got like 3
I
games
actually
left.
can't. I actually can't wait for Chad to be back on here so he can defend himself.
Oh, don't worry. When this episode drops on Thursday, he'll make his piece known. Trust me.
Oh, our group chat is gonna light up. But we're gonna move on to the last Sunday game. Sunday game.
Day game, yeah.
And we're going Rams versus Seahawks. The Seahawks have a lot to prove. They did well last year, but the Rams have more to prove. They were very injury ridden last year. I'm still iffy on their quarterback. He had one good season where he won the Super Bowl.
Matt Stafford's not starting, is he?
Is he not?
I thought he was. I thought he wasn't. Let me double check.
Oh, Stafford's ready to go, man.
I thought he was.
Cup is out. Stafford's in.
Oh yeah, Cooper Kupp is still maybe. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's got to go to. He went to get his hamstring checked on.
Okay.
You think it'll be a game time decision?
No, he's got to sit out. This is the second time he's injured that hamstring.
Yeah,
I definitely see him. He will probably sit out the first month of the season. That's my prediction.
Yeah, he's going to a specialist just to work on it, like throughout the week. So he's not even actually practicing. He's doing light work, but he's actually going after practices and stuff to go see a specialist. So,
ouch.
Okay.
But yeah, Matt Stafford, not fucking dependable at all. So, Seahawks winning this one, especially since they picked up some pretty new weapons for Geno Smith.
Yeah, I got the Seahawks winning as well.
I also have the Seahawks winning as well.
I like Seattle at home. 2 key injuries that we've got to look at is Cooper Kupp is probably the entire Rams offense outside of Cam Akers.
Van Jefferson.
Anyways, Cam Akers will have
this motherfucker, really?
Cam Akers will have a good year this year, but I don't like him on the road in Seattle week 1. And I don't think Matt Stafford coming back off the rip in Seattle week 1. I don't like it. On the other side, Jackson Smith and Jigba looks like he'll probably sit week 1. But, I mean, you look at it, it's the exact same offense from last year. They're just not getting their shiny new toy week 1. So, Seattle builds a ton for the draft the past couple of years, and I love the pieces that they're grabbing. So, I like Geno and the boys week 1 at home.
Geno and the boys sounds like a 70s band, doesn't it?
Sounds like an R&B group.
Yeah. Boys.
Coming to the stage this time, Geno and the boys.
I think
smoke him out for Smokey Robinson and them.
Well, I was gonna say I think that Seattle's going to depend heavy on their run game because they have a lot of good depth at the running back position. You got Kenneth Walker, DJ Dallas, and Zach Cabernet. So, and Geno, I think they're going to let Geno play smart. Obviously, Pete Carroll trusts him more, especially after the season he had. But Tyler Lockett and DJ Metcalf still out there, and then you just dump it off to a running back. So I feel like that's why they're going to do better overall.
And there's no secondary with LA right now. Like they have little to no like impact players in their secondary.
I can't tell you another player on that defense besides Aaron Donald. It's that bad. I mean, Bobby Wagner's gone too. I mean, he went
back to Seattle, didn't he?
Yeah, he was in Seattle. This should be a cool matchup.
Yep. Chad also went Seahawks on this one.
Yep.
So moving on, we have our Sunday nighter. We have Chad's third favorite team in the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. Danny Dimes, Saquon Barkley. Can Saquon hold up like he did last year? Can Danny Dimes make the plays that he did last year? That's the question that I have. On the flip side, can Dak stay healthy? Or does he go down with an injury week 1 in this game? And do we get to see their shiny new quarterback play?
Cooper Rush.
No.
No, not Cooper Rush.
Bend
I
in the
just, I just don't trust Trey Lance. Like, even in the games when he did play healthy, he didn't really play that great.
Played a game, didn't he?
He played
No, I
a
think
game.
played against the Pack.
Yeah. He played a
Wait,
That's
game.
it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, Trey Lance. He
Yeah.
played against
Yeah.
Chicago week 1 in a monsoon.
Yeah. And then almost broke his ankle in that game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think that if that goes down, Trey Lance gets the call, not Cooper Rush. So I'm going Cowboys to
well,
win this one.
hold on.
Yes. Okay,
Like, do you remember who the head coach is for the Cowboys?
I do. They still somehow made it to almost to the playoffs last year.
Almost.
Somehow almost.
This is our year.
Yeah. I mean, it was a coin flip, and they would have been in the playoffs.
The Cowboys?
Yeah.
The Cowboys were in the playoffs.
Yeah, they were in the playoffs. They were 7 seed.
They went to the divisional round.
So
They lost. Yeah, they lost to the what, 49ers, or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
See?
they lost to the
Oh.
49ers. Yeah.
They lost to Trey Lance.
okay. But yes, I do have the Cowboys winning this, and I think it's going to be a tight game, because it is a rivalry game as well.
Well, this game is going to be MetLife Stadium. Someone will go with the Giants. This would be technically Daniel Jones' 4th out of 5th year that I said that he'd be in the upper echelon. So I think he's going to make a big leap like he did last year. And Saquon still has something to prove because he only got that 1-year deal. As long as he stays healthy, that offense is going to be explosive and hard to stop. Yes, they don't have quote unquote receivers. They didn't have quote unquote receivers last year. Still fucking made things happen. And Mike McCarthy's still garbage head coach. Hopefully the Cowboys lose this season so he can go away and quit playing coaching football.
Talon, where are you going?
I'm going Giants. I think I don't know, man. Like, the more injuries that have accumulated over with Dak Prescott, the less I trust him. Not from his ability to throw the football, but from his ability to stay healthy. And with the new philosophy Mike McCarthy is using as to he wants to start running the ball more, you're running it with little ass Tony Parker. I'm not Tony Parker. Tony Pollard. Why the fuck did I say Tony Parker? Little ass Tony Pollard.
Well, because Tony Parker was a little ass dude too.
That's true. He's a beast though. But at the same time, did nobody even think about what this brand new coaching philosophy is going to do for like CeeDee Lamb, who is probably the best receiver that you've had since Dez Bryant? Like,
Amari
I mean,
Cooper?
They had Amari Cooper.
Well, they had Amari Cooper there too, but wait, wasn't they both around together at the same time? Dez and Amari, when they were.
But Amari came after.
I thought,
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
And him and CeeDee Lamb were there for a year together, right?
Regardless,
Yes. Yeah.
regardless, how is it going to help his development as a wide receiver? You know what I mean? And the fact that, and now your defense is stout. You still got D-Law, still got Micah Parsons, still got Trayvon Diggs. You got some pieces on that defense, but I think that New York is a very underrated defense. I feel like they can surprise people with the way that they play defense, and I feel like Daniel Jones is going to, they have a bunch of no-name receivers, but I think that Daniel Jones has the ability to make shit happen, when you're not expecting him to make shit happen. And Saquon's going to do his thing. He's going to run. He's going to do his thing. I think it's actually going to be I think Saquon may have a pretty good game in this game. I ain't predicting like 100-something yards or anything like that, but I definitely think he's going to, put the team in good positions to, for Daniel Jones to make plays and stuff like that. And I think the defense is definitely going to stay. I'm going with the Giants in this situation. But I got it close. Very, very close. But I think Giants are going to win. What about you, Braden?
In this game, a lot of these week 1 matchups, some of them are big time toss up games, but I will have to follow the trend here and go with Dallas in this one. They've won the last 4 of their matchups with the Giants, actually, and New York always seems to struggle with Dallas. I don't know what it is, but they can't seem to get past them. I think Dallas's defense is a big key factor in this game. I love what they have coming back, and last year they gave everyone fits. I mean, it was all the big talking point of Dallas was the defense. Like they kept them in games, they killed it, and I love the addition of Brandon Cooks. Yeah, I know the big talking point has been like slow the game down just a little bit, but until we see them completely commit to that, I want to see the same. Until we see them completely shift to that, it's still going to be the same Cowboys offense. I think they'll do that just a tad bit, but they're still going to throw the ball. And until Dak goes down, I'm not going to factor in injuries because they're so unpredictable. I don't know. He is a tad bit injury prone, but he's still a serviceable quarterback, and I think he gets the job done here in the Sunday night game. I like the Cowboys in this one.
One thing about Brandon Cooks that I think a lot of people and I said this, I sent a picture or a meme in the group chat the other day that Brandon Cooks has not had a receiving yard season less than 1,000 yards his whole career.
And he's playing with shit quarterbacks, man. Like he's got Dak now,
Yeah.
probably the best quarterback he's had in a long time.
Well, who else?
Sir? Yeah, Jared
He
Goff,
had-
sir.
I said in a long time he hasn't been on the Rams in a hot minute, brother.
It's been like 3 seasons.
I was going to say the last couple of
long
seasons
time.
he had. The last couple of seasons he had Davis Mills in Houston and still got 1,000+ yards.
Was that the only quarterback that threw to him though?
No, he had Case Keenum there for a little bit, right?
No, I
Sure
don't think.
You
I
sure
don't
Tom
think Case
Savage
Keenum-
didn't throw a little bit to him?
No, I'm positive Tom Savage. He played. That was prior to Deshaun Watson's years. Tom
Okay.
Savage was.
Yeah.
Regardless, I like that move because it's not CeeDee Lamb getting the damn ball every time of the year. So it's
Michael
diversified.
Gallup.
But we got Michael Gallup coming back healthy too. So that's actually a pretty decent receiving core.
Chad also went with the Cowboys on this one.
Well, of course,
shocker.
Third favorite team.
And our final game of the week, the Monday nighter, we've got the Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. Is Aaron Rodgers still that guy that everybody thinks he is? On the flip side, is Josh Allen healthy enough to throw the ball like he has been for the past couple of seasons? The Jets revamped pretty much their entire team around Aaron Rodgers. So we will see. I've got the Bills winning, but I actually don't have them winning by more than like a touchdown. I'm not sure about Josh Allen and his throwing elbow because it's very easy to re-injure that Tommy John injury, and he didn't have surgery. He opted for rehab instead. So I do have the Bills winning this one.
I also have the Bills winning this one. And it's not just because fuck the Jets. Okay, it's about 75% fuck the Jets. But in actuality, they basically, New York, all they did was basically recreate the Packers, but in a different market. That's all they did. Now, granted, Christian Wilkinson. No, I'm sorry. He's at Green Bay. It's Watson. I'm sorry. Watson, yeah. Watson's the shiny new toy that he's going to, Aaron Rodgers is going to get to throw to. They bring in Allen Lazard. They bring in Randall Cobb. Hell, I'm surprised the ghost of Jordy Nelson don't fly in there eventually. But, and they got good running backs with Breece Hall. Dalvin Cook is there, and defense is a top 5 defense. I'm not going to take anything away from them. However, when you look at Buffalo, Josh Allen, again, I still hold true to the statement that I said a long time ago. He just take the year off, get the Tommy John surgery, come back next year, let the team rebuild, and everything should be fine. But he opted for rehab. He's a grown-ass man. He can make his own decision, and we'll see what happens. But, still they still got Stephon Diggs, again, top 10 wide receiver. Their defense is sneakingly good. And what I mean by that is that they have the ability to fool offenses, like luring and things of that nature. I definitely think that the Bills are going to win this one, but I definitely think it's going to be close. I would say probably closer than a touchdown, maybe within 3, I would say. Maybe a last second field goal might put somebody over the top, or a last second, maybe they may go into overtime in this one. I mean, both teams, have good enough defenses to hold. I don't see this as a high scoring game either. Like I'm thinking around maybe the 14-17 or something like that. That's kind of where I see this game going. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills to win this one.
I think this is a definite spot where everyone's looking in the direction of the Jets, and the Bills are over here saying, "Hey, we're still here."
Right.
It's one of those spots where they want to say, "Hey, this is all shiny and new, but like we're the proven commodity. We've been killing shit. We're still the same Bills, and we've added on." And I think here you've really got to go with a proven commodity in the Bills. I trust them a lot more. Yes, they're in New York, but I think this is one of those spots where I can honestly see the Jets coming out and the offense being a little bit stagnant, and everyone starts freaking out like, "Oh shit, this is not how this is supposed to go." And if you've watched Hard Knocks at all this season, there have been certain times where Aaron Rodgers has gotten really pissed off with that offensive line, and
Oh, what a shock!
I mean
Sorry.
the receivers haven't been really clicking in certain spots. So I think it later on in the season, yeah, I see Aaron being successful, but they've really got a tough 4-game stretch to open the year up. So I really think the Jets probably they make the game close for sure. It's probably a field goal game, but I love the Bills and the proven commodity because I don't know if you guys remember the last primetime week 1 game the Bills were in. They came out and throttled the Rams after they just came off that Super Bowl. So definitely like the Bills here in primetime.
I mean, you sure you know the answer. I'm going to go Bills.
Bills. Yep.
I still to this day believe Aaron Rodgers is fucking beyond overrated. More overrated than Death Note. So,
Why I'm over here catching strays, man? Shit.
You aren't catching strays. I'm sorry for attacking your favorite anime. But
you didn't say anything about Demon Slayer. What are we talking about?
Okay. Cap. But no, I think Aaron Rodgers is supremely overrated. I think that team is actually going to do worse because of his attitude. They're just going to be yelled at for apparently always messing up, even though they won't be messing up all the time. It'll be the other person messing up. But what do I know? But no, I still think the Bills have to prove this year. After they fell in the end of the last season, I think they're going to pick it up this year. Stephon Diggs was pretty much on the verge of leaving because of how the team's mentality, I guess, was or whatever. But Josh Allen and him had some meetings, and then they had a personnel meeting. So the Bills have to, I don't say win all this season, but they have to get further. Maybe they're going for the Super Bowl, obviously, but they have to make it this year for the team that they have to actually reach the potential it has.
The two main teams, in my opinion, that stand in the way of the Bills making it to a Super Bowl, let alone winning it, are the Chiefs and the Bengals at this point. And history has shown that when you play these teams in the postseason, you do not come through, whether defensively or offensively. Now the bullshit overtime thing that fucked them, when they did get a chance.
Don't talk about it.
I'm just saying that we need context. It's part of the story. We'll see what happens.
You just need to get a better running back.
Who are the running backs right now?
James Cook. Well, Devin Singletary isn't even there anymore.
No, he left.
He left.
Damian Harris is there as well. It's Damian Harris, James Cook,
and somebody else. They just drafted him, didn't they?
I wish they would have taken Breece Hall when they had the chance, man. That was God.
They should have. All right, here it is.
Damian Harris, James Cook, Ty Johnson, Latavius Murray still playing?
Latavius Murray.
It's the GOAT.
Frank Gore?
Expect a 100-yard game. At some point this season, Latavius Murray will have a
100-yard game. They should have gotten freaking Dalvin Cook when he went out on the market.
Yeah. And Chad picked who?
The Jets.
Did he pick the Jets for real? For real? Or is he just bullshitting me?
What a
It's
sheet.
the Bills.
Because if he picked the Jets, I could see it.
He picked the Bills.
Don't lie for
Yes.
him. Don't protect him now.
I'm not protecting shit. I'm just
I'm
saying it
talking
wouldn't
about-
surprise me if
I'm
he
He's
picked
talking
talking
Chad.
about me.
Yeah, I'm talking
Oh,
shit.
okay.
So, all right. With that being said, there are all of our picks for week 1. Last question: sleeper game of the week. Where are you guys going?
So are you saying upset or like, hey, this could be a banger, great game?
Banger.
That
All right.
I got 2.
I
I'm gonna
got
say
3.
I'm gonna say Lions and Chiefs, and then the other one is going to be the Buccaneers Vikings.
I also have Lions and Chiefs. I think that the Titans Saints game is going to be closer than we think. I think it's going to be really, really good to watch. And call me a homer if you want to. I think Chargers Miami is going to be a banger. I think.
Well, that's
I'll
my
hop on
tie.
that with you. I think that's definitely going to be the high scoring, high flying game of the week, and a lot of highlights out of that. And
I hope. I just hope
the
we
other
win.
one I'll go with because it's probably going to be so close. Like I honestly think this Pittsburgh and San Fran game is going to be a nail biter. I think.
So yeah, the obvious choices would be, Lions, Chiefs, Bucks, Vikings, Dolphins, Chargers. Because they're good teams. I think, like Braden said, 49ers, Steelers. That's going to be a banger. And I think low key Panthers, Falcons is going to be an amazing game.
Yeah.
See-
Anytime it's divisional, it's going to be good. I think.
My thing is these are going to be really, really good or just shits the bed so hard bad. Like Amber Heard bad.
Oh, I don't know about that bad, but damn, man. Hey, but low key, the Browns and Bengals could be a good game too.
That
I
Browns
mean,
defense, oh, man.
but you
Maybe-
would expect that game because you would expect that game to be a quote unquote banger because you got Deshaun Watson as the quarterback of one and Joe Burrow as the quarterback of the other. I'm looking at like low key games that people are overlooking and saying, well, those two teams are shit, so it's not going to be a good game.
The only way the Bengals Browns would be a banger is Deshaun Watson went to a massage parlor.
Oh.
I mean, who's to say he hasn't been to one?
Watch out for that Bears Packers matchup, man. That's gonna be a good one.
That one was one I was thinking of too. I just want to see Justin Fields succeed because he's on a shit team and it's not his fault.
What if Arizona and Washington have a banger?
Stop
No
capping.
I'm not capping. I'm asking a question.
Stop capping.
What if for whatever reason both teams just decide, hey, we'll play a football game today, and then they go out there and actually like, oh, that was more entertaining than I thought.
What if Kyler Murray didn't play Call of Duty? We can ask all these questions. We ain't getting no answers, dude.
I mean, we'll get an answer Sunday, obviously.
He's not playing, is he?
No, Kyler's not playing. No, he's
doing Call of Duty right now.
Joshua Dobbs is the quarterback for the Redbirds.
They could low key start Clayton Tune. Like I don't think that they've even announced a starting quarterback yet.
They haven't. We assume it's going to be Josh Dobbs, but
unless they sign somebody out of nowhere like 2 days before the game, which I doubt.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, it's happened before. Hell, they might do what they did with the Broncos and have a fucking wide receiver throw the ball for them.
You might have a better chance. But anyway, let us know in the comments below what games you think are going to be low key really good. The hell?
It was just no, it's the picks.
Oh,
I write shit down too. All right.
I use technology. I have a spreadsheet to keep it all in, so nothing can be changed at the last minute.
Oh, so you don't write in your little journal anymore?
I'll write it in there after the fact, but this is so it's in black and white. Everybody can look at it, and we're good.
Ink.
Yep. So, with that being said, don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe on Spotify and right here on YouTube.
What you got to say, Raj?
Obviously, what you just said, like, comment, subscribe, leave a like, share with your friends, tell us what you think in the comments below. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. And if you don't give us a 5-star rating, tell us why and say it with your chest.
Braden, you got anything you want to say before we bounce out here tonight?
Week 1's a blast, man. Get ready for it. We're all excited. You can make the case for any one of these teams, and anyone can believe it. It's all everyone's 0-0. It's anyone's game for the taking. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. Also, make sure you guys check us out on all of our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel right here. Again, subscribe, click that bell to get notified of our latest videos. Streamlabs.com/movement radio/merch. Go copy some brand new merch. And as always, movementradio.us, which is your one-stop shop for all things Movement Radio.
I am Chip Hazard.
I'm Talon Williams.
I'm Roger Sierra.
I'm Braden Howard.
And this is Movement Radio.
God's plan.